again. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday's question and answer session. I have two questions, rather large questions, so I'm going to cover them both to a certain extent because they are in some ways interrelated. I want to get rid of this full screen. So if you have any questions, remember you've got to join me live on Zoom to ask live. So first question is, in the health lab, I've put up a questionnaire, a poll rather, and to find out what is it that most people want to find out about. And the number one thing is more people want to learn about stress and thinking, right, how to cope with stress. That's what I'm actually guessing. So stress. So let's see if I can share my screen so I can show you a little bit about stress. Here we go. Share. Okay, so here we go. Stress. There are all kinds of different stresses, okay? But most people think of the emotional stress. They think of the stress of watching all the TV at the moment, all the stuff about coronavirus and the economy and the lockdowns and the sheer insanity of the poor science that I think is being followed as opposed to the real science, which could have had this all over and done with. But there's also physical stress, and it's actually because of the physical stress why we have a stress response anyway, because the stress response is designed to basically put loads of energy into our muscles, massively increase the blood pressure so that we can get out of somewhere and we can fight or run away, the fight or flight response. And there's also chemical stresses on our body now as well. And it really doesn't matter where this stress comes from. It affects our body, it affects our nervous system, it affects our hormones, it affects our immune system. And then it affects the way that the messengers or the messenger systems work between them as well. So you have your nervous system and the neurotransmitters and what are called cytokines, which you may have heard a little bit more about thanks to coronavirus. Cytokines are actually messenger molecules. They're not necessarily bad or good by themselves. And then you have the immune system and the endocrine system that talks via cytokines and hormones. The endocrine and the nervous system talks via neurotransmitters and hormones. And so all of these things interplay and they all work together to basically get you up and going and running away. But if your stress response is chronically activated by watching lots of news, and you never switch it off, and you never burn off all of these stress hormones because you're not exercising enough, then you end up with basically a depleted system in one way or another. So you can end up with high blood pressure, you can end up with mental issues as well because stress literally stops the brain from working. Here's an article, there you go, Brain Economics, Housekeeping Routines in the Brain. Research out of Holland shows how stress overloads the brain circuits, which in turn causes imbalances in the central nervous system. But basically, the things to do to basically decrease stress. One is to stop watching the news. Okay, you can try and avoid stress. Okay, you can try and avoid the emotional stresses, but the real answer is you want to build up your body's ability to cope with stress. So this is where things like different breathing exercises, meditation helps as well. And also you want to increase the ways in which your body can turn off stress. Now, stress is designed to create lots of physical activity. So if you are not exercising, you cannot burn off all the stress hormones. So the number one stress reliever is actually physical exercise because that's how it's meant to work in nature. So if you cannot physically exercise, okay, and you want to get into the state where when you're stressed, you feel like you want to go and exercise, whether it's walk or lift some weights, you know, sprint up a hill, do some boxing, basically whatever it is, just do something that's really active that gets your circulation going and uses up all those hormones. So, but if you can't exercise, the next best thing is deep breathing exercises to really help decrease the amount of stress in your system. And then you can use various supplements as well. You don't want to use drugs. It's good to actually use various supplements because in order to produce stress hormones, your body needs a lot of the right fats. So your cholesterol levels will go up because your stress hormones are made from cholesterol. So high levels of stress can lead to high cholesterol, regardless of what you're eating. But then you also burn up magnesium and B vitamins and all sorts of other things, which you also then need to turn off the stress. So if you're chronically stressed and you're not exercising and you've got a poor diet, okay, and if you're stressed and you've even got a good diet but you're not taking a multivitamin, first step is to exercise and take a multivitamin to help give you lots of the things you need to switch off the stress and also to stop the side effects of chronic stress. Then once you started exercising, or once you started at least taking a multivitamin and eating well, then you can start using things like, let's stop the screen share. You can start using things like, this is called Cortisol Pro. Now, cortisol is the stress hormone, and this isn't to help increase cortisol. This is to help mop it up in your bloodstream. And this is a very popular supplement with people under a lot of stress because it contains a number of things, including Rhodiola rosea, which is a herb, and also ashwagandha, but a very special form of ashwagandha, which is another herb that have both been shown to really help people cope with lots of stress. So multivitamin, exercise, breathing exercises, maybe something like this as well. There are other things that I can recommend as well, but those are the big things really with stress. Okay, yeah, you can try and change the stress you're under, but you want to make yourself more resilient to stress by being healthy in the first place. And so you can have breathing exercises, eating healthily, mental exercises. Then detoxification always helps because that's another big stress, all these chemicals on our body making everything go a bit jangly. So the whole Magnificent Seven, basically. So if you are chronically stressed and you want to learn more about decreasing it, then I suggest you reach out, and maybe my Magnificent Seven program, or maybe the 7 weeks to a younger you, my 7-week anti-aging program. Maybe that's for you. Let's see. So next up was heart palpitations, basically. So yeah, stress can cause heart palpitations. In fact, it's a massive, massive cause of heart problems, stress. But the particular question was, where was it? What might help? When should I be worried? Yes. Can you talk more about heart palpitations? Well, I am actually going to be putting together a whole webinar on heart palpitations. Let me just go to share screen. Where is it? Where's the heart? Where is it? Now maybe I've got to switch to here, and it doesn't want to show it. Okay, maybe if I close this. Oh, there you go, stress, share. Nope, no, it's not. It doesn't want to show. Let's stop sharing. It doesn't want to show. Oh, it does now. Good. Share. Stress. There we go. So first of all, about stress, the best thing to do, if you're getting lots of palpitations, you should go to your doctor and you should get a heart rate test, a heart rate variability test. That's something I can do to a certain degree in the clinic. You want to get an echocardiogram, and you also want to have maybe a 24-hour monitor. Now, this is a company called Zio, S-Z-I-O. Okay, and they are actually available in the UK, and they can actually tell you all the different types of palpitations that are going on. It can tell you whether it's something you actually should be worrying about. Okay, I mean, you should be concerned about all of them because it's a sign that something's not quite right. But once you've actually determined what type it is, then you have two choices. You can go down the drug route, which is basically pretty much one single-minded way, and there's no real improvement, as it were. Or you can actually try and find the underlying cause of each of these problems, of which there are a lot of different causes. And here is the solution, basically. Yeah, that's all. Now, here you go. Here's all 10. There you go. So basically, you have get good nutrition. Again, you want to make sure that your cells are correct. You want to make sure your electrolyte levels are correct, because it's your electrolytes that can actually cause the wrong kind of changes in your heart muscle, or rather the electrical activity. So nutrition, electrolytes, get sunshine. Very, very helpful because it helps with nitric oxide, which is a very important signaler for your heart. Get enough sleep. That's a huge one. Get active in a lot of people. Get your mind right, so decreasing stress. Get clean, as in get rid of certain toxins in your body that can be causing this problem. And get away from electromagnetic fields. Electromagnetic fields, I mean, a pacemaker is producing an electric field. And we know that smart meters, overhead power cables, these can actually cause problems. Get adjusted. Some people's atrial fibrillation and heart problems is actually coming from the neck. This is actually documented back in the Lancet as far back as 1968. Get all the proper tests done, and then get the evidence-based supplementation as well, which is under Get Nutrition as well as part of that. But this is all put together by a cardiologist in the States, by the way. This isn't me, this is a cardiologist in the States. So that's the sort of the basic overall plan. But what did I want to say about palpitations in particular? The mind getting clean, sunshine, nutrition. It's gone from my mind. Oh, hello, Diana has joined us live and is being recorded, and she's run away again. That's good. So yes, nutrition, sunshine, sleep. There was something on my mind, but it has now gone. I will now stop the sharing and stream, but I'll be putting together a larger webinar based on Dr. Wolfson's work very soon. So I'm now going to just stop the sharing. And hello, Diana.
Hello.
You are being recorded, just so you know.
Okay.
Again. So did you get what I just said, or were you watching, or?
I just got on, so I think I've missed it, but it's
okay. All right. So basically, I'll recap. So sorry if you're watching live on Facebook or elsewhere. I am actually going to be doing a webinar on this, perhaps in the next few weeks.
Okay, good.
Because that's one of the things I've been learning a lot about from Dr. Jack Wolfson, and I just shared that basically the answer is the same as ever. It's the Magnificent Seven health strategies. You've got to get all of these things in place. You've got to understand what's wrong, but you definitely want to get tested. So I'm glad you're off to the GP, and probably getting a 24-hour heart monitor as well. There is a company that Dr. Wolfson uses in the States that's also over here called Zio, Z-I-O. And they have these handy little monitors you just strap over your heart. And they're just a diddy little thing. But again, you should be able to get something equivalent for free.
Well, the GP said they're going to give me something that you can attach to your smartphone, and if you're having an episode, you put your fingers on it, and it does.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's not a 24-hour thing, but it's meant to help record an episode.
Yeah, that would be, yes, yeah, that's what slide is that in my presentation? That's slide number 12.
Okay.
But yeah, ideally you want something that's actually going to monitor it over a long period of time. But yeah, start with going to the doctors and then getting what they're going to be doing. But yeah, electrical conductivity is a big one. Oh, that's what I was going to mention, hormones. Now, I know you're not a man, but I just had a patient yesterday, and one of his problems is chronic fibrillations, heart palpitations. But he also has all the signs of low testosterone. And it's a little known but common cause of heart palpitations in men. That's what I wanted to say today, just in case some men are watching this later, is get your testosterone levels checked, because it's unlikely your cardiologist will check your testosterone, but we know that low testosterone is quite a major cause of heart palpitations. And so if you get your testosterone levels checked and get that corrected, then heart palpitations can go. So in women, I'm not sure if the female hormones can interact and cause problems as well.
She did say, I'm of the age sort of perimenopause, so they're going to test hormones as well. Okay. And that is a symptom of menopause. So
yes, so yeah, get those results over to me when you get them. And are you requesting a full blood count when you go in as well?
Yeah, I think they're just doing the standard bloods.
Good. Send those to me, because that will help me. This is you, by the way. This is from the questionnaire you did the other day.
All right.
Okay, and this helps isolate sort of areas where, yeah, you need help, and everything's showing up that basically we had suspected. Do you mind me showing that now?
It's fine.
Okay, very brief. Basically, no surprises. Okay, well, actually, oxygen delivery and micronutrients to a certain extent, toxins and parasites, and hormones. And so hormones,
things that need help.
yeah, and hormones is the area that basically needs to be tested. So I'm glad that's actually being tested. And serum bilirubin. Did I ask you to get serum bilirubin checked?
I don't know if they will or not. She was just
okay. Okay, all right. That would be a good one. But otherwise, just send me back all the results that you get, because I've just finished a menopause course as well. So I'm my head is about to explode with everything I'm learning. How do you
keep all this information?
How do
you keep all this information in your brain?
I don't necessarily keep it all in my head at the same time. I just have lots of notes. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 hours on the menopause, and I'm embarking on 8 hours of blood chemistry.
I don't know where you find the time to do all this.
I squeeze it in beginning and end of day and lunch times as well.
I can't even squeeze in all the stuff that you put out. So how are you doing out?
Yes. Yeah. No. It's yeah. Organization and just sheer determination, basically. That's the answer. Right. I'm just going to check to see if any Facebook questions came up as well that I didn't see. They might have, but I can't see them now anyway. So, okay, well, I am now going to stop here for everybody. So if you have any questions on stress, on heart, anything like that, and you want to know more, then please reach out. The clinic is bodyimbalanceuk.com. The phone number is 01707 662 0704, or you can message me via Facebook. Okay, bye for now, everyone.